All right. Well, good morning, dear ones. Happy day, hey? This is SOTUesday. We are SOTU. And it is the 8th day of November 2016. Election day in the United States. And big choices to be made. Big statements to be understood. Perhaps we can give you a better understanding of the dynamics that you are facing by answering a question that has been posed to us this week by a friend. We have spoken in the past of the dynamic of a reset, of which this will be the onset, this will be the beginning, this will, what shall we say, give you a flavor for yourself of what direction you could be looking at in the near future. We have spoken of the dynamic of reset, and so in that dynamic of your own definitions of the word, we would say that to you that most of you think that reset is going to be an automatic dynamic, and please understand that change is something that happens instantly, but adjusting to that dynamic of change usually is an incremental journey and takes a certain matter of time and a certain amount of focus and a certain amount of choices that have to be made along the way. And so the dynamic of reset that we are talking about is our reading of a reflection of the consensus energy that is constantly being created to you in an either or dynamic. Let's just take the politics of what is going on in your world today and look at the dynamics, and we would say to you that you have an archetype of the bad father and you have an archetype of the bad mother, and which choice are you going to make this time, the bad father or the bad mother? And we have heard it said, and we have said ourselves recently, that the truth of the dynamic that you're the outcomes are going to be similar no matter who is elected today. And those outcomes will come imminently for each of you. Your, what shall we say, the things that you need to face are going to be individual. If you have not cleaned up emotional dynamics of your past, they're going to come up, and you have to understand that this movement, this change is primarily emotional. Yes, it will be reflected in your physical reality, but it is an opportunity. It is a great movement of who are you going to be. And so if you are going to have measured this dynamic, if you have as a species chosen to move beyond a paradigm of competition and comparison, a paradigm of survival of the fittest, if you are willing to step beyond that idea of yourself and realize that you are more than just this physical body, if you are willing to do that, then you have already faced the dynamic that so many in your world have yet to face. Your consensus reality wishes to reflect your thoughts, your words, and your feelings. And therefore, in the dynamic of your thoughts, your words, and your feeling, each of you will have your own opportunity to reset your reality, to reset your experience. How will you respond? The paradigm presented by the patriarchal mother, the patriarchal father, in the dynamics of, if you understand that these are both parts of members of the prophet generation, and therefore grew up, believe it or not, within a dynamic of entitlement, and within a dynamic of a reality of a burning desire to create change. And that took a myriad of directions. Some people were really looking for peace. Some people were really looking for love. And some people were looking for an opportunity to get ahead. And those people that were looking for the opportunity to get ahead are the ones that are in charge of your reality right now, because you, those of you, most of you who are live and let live kind of people, you have allowed it. And so, what is going to be the answer? The answer is that you need to begin to take responsibility for your own reality creation. That you need to understand that your movement has been one of individual empowerment. But at a certain point, individual empowerment becomes isolation, and you become susceptible to be victimized by the dynamics of divide and conquer. What do you identify with? Who do you identify with? Do you identify with the Democrats? Do you identify with the Republicans? You've already lost. You're already playing into the dynamics of the divide and conquer. This is exacerbated throughout so many things in your society, from everything from organized sports to, what shall we say, gambling. Everything in your world is intended to exploit you. And we mean everything. Not us, certainly so. We want nothing from you except for you to grow. We want nothing from you except for you to awaken to your reality, awaken to the true empowerment that you hold within yourself. And through the dynamics of all this outside fear coming at you, this dynamic of creativity is kept within you, is kept turning and recycling and turning in on itself, because belief creates behavior that reinforces belief, that, and on and on and on, dear ones, until you decide to break the cycle. Now, at the same time that you're living your life and you're focused in the way that you are, your soul, that more divine piece of you that you have, what shall we say, set up as a motivating factor, an emotionally motivating factor in your life, your soul is going to keep trying to give you the opportunities to move forward, to grow, to become more. And as you begin to do that, as you begin to realize that everything in your world is a conversation between you and your soul, the reflections in your world are a conversation between you and your soul. Are you going to choose the patriarchal father? Are you going to choose the matriarchal mother? Are you going to choose these two throwbacks to an earlier age? Throwbacks that are still locked into their worldview of the 60s, the 70s, the 80s. Reality has changed, but they have not relinquished their power. Because you, most of you, have not been interested enough to take responsibility. This election is a representation for those in your world who are unconscious. It is going to be an ability, if you use your ability to read the reflections, it is going to be an opportunity to be able to step back and say, this is where my world is going. Do I choose to allow it? Again, dear ones, you are going to be moving into this new place. That is inevitable. A new place that is eventually going to lead you to, what shall we say, moving into that level of consciousness, that level of awareness that so much in your reality is pushing you toward? Answer the question for yourself. Who is it that you are going to be? And you will find peace. We will have the opportunity to speak to you again next week, and we wish to begin to speak to you about the are you sures that are impending in your reality. It'll be quite interesting. We're not going to give you a heads up on what the result is going to be, because why would we deprive you of the adventure of discovery? But watch how your world reacts. Watch how your population reacts. Watch how the people react. And watch that some people actually respond, and that there actually may be voices of truth that you begin to hear in your reality. We love you, dear ones. And so until next week, we close. Sending you peace, sending you happiness, sending you joy. Enjoy the ride.